Hey guys, 91 Extreme RT here, and this is just a little video about damage reduction in Diablo 3. I was just randomly looking at my stats the other day. I never really paid much attention to them other than my life per kill and, my gold find, magic find, and like my resistances and shit and my crit stuff. But then I noticed, you got your damage reduction here, and then you got your resistances, but then I noticed this one right here, melee damage reduction, 0%. Okay, so if your resistances cover all the elemental stuff plus physical resistance, and you have, like I do, I have 60.5% damage reduction, but I have 0 on melee damage reduction. Isn't melee physical damage? I really don't know what the purpose of this damage reduction is then, because if the resistances cover all this stuff, then this does nothing. If it did do something, if it covered like overall damage reduction, then why is there a 0 for melee damage reduction? Why is there a 0 for missile damage reduction? Because if this covered overall damage reduction for everything, this should be at 56.07%, or the hell it was just oh, that was because of my buff. Then it's useless. I really don't understand what it does, and this makes a lot of sense because with the melee damage reduction at 0, even though this says 60.5, would explain why when I get meleeed in Inferno, I get like 3 shot, and I got 33.3k HP, and I have decent resistances. Not the best resistances. They could be a lot better, but it is what it is. I have 560s, so I try to spread my gold out over all my characters so I can get them all in gear. So yeah, I think that this stat is useless because in Diablo 3 or Diablo 2 when you had damage reduction, it was damage reduction for everything. That was the baseline damage reduction you took before your, I think it was before the resistances kicked in, or it was for melee, or it was something. I think it was for melee because I remember I'd always stack up the thing. It was 56% damage reduction or 58% damage reduction, whatever the cap was, and it made a big difference. In here, in this game, it seems like damage reduction does nothing. And I was always wondering why I had so much, why I had so much armor and damage reduction that I was still getting fucking demolished in melee. And that's when I noticed this right here, is that there's a separate thing for melee damage reduction. So this damage reduction and your armor rating really doesn't do anything. Because if it did, it would add on to your resistances. It would be, 66.39%, damage reduction from physical plus 60% damage reduction. So you would actually be absorbing at that point. So yeah, I don't know what exactly it does. I don't know. I don't think there's a use for it. Because, if it covered overall damage reduction, like some people may think, then why are these at 0 then? These should be at that same percent rating too, if it covered everything. So yeah, I don't know, it's kind of weird that, damage reduction really doesn't do anything because it doesn't cover melee, which is what it was pretty much for in Diablo 2. So yeah, I don't know, it is what it is, I guess. I always tried to, stack armor like on my monk for tanking and stuff, and come to find out, looking at this, it really doesn't do anything. If it doesn't reduce melee damage taken, then there's no point in the armor because your resistances cover everything else. Your physical covers, I would think it would cover melee because a physical, a melee attack is a physical attack. So yeah, I don't know. That's about it. See you later.